And welcome to the Krug Show. The call-in show is back in effect. Kev is here. We're going to go calls for an hour. Niners Seahawks preview. It's all coming up next right here on the Krug Show. Join us right here. And we get things rolling on the Krug Show on a Wednesday night. Hope everybody's having a great night. We're brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out. They're in Emeryville. They're in Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. We're also brought to you by Sharp Corner Sports Cards and Collectibles, 205 Cypress Avenue in Pacific Grove, California. Thanks to our good friend Anthony Catania. He's at 831-521-5264. And tonight's live stream is sponsored by Better, the official daily fantasy sponsor of the Krug Show. Use Better to make daily fantasy lineups, win real money. We just won this week. Download the app below. Make sure you use the promo code Niners, Niners, to get your first deposit matched up to $200. And everybody who signs up is automatically in the running to win a 49er jersey of your choice. You pick the number, you pick the size, and that's it. That's it. All you got to do is sign up, download the app below, make sure you use the promo code Niners, and you get that first deposit matched up to $200, and you'll automatically be entered into a drawing to win the jersey. Kev, how are you? Good to see you.
The call-in show is back.
We're back, baby.
We're back. It has been a minute since we did a call-in show. Paulie Mac, damn you, Paulie Mac. No, I'm just kidding. Paulie Mac took over the Wednesday slot, and it's just like, if people want a little insight into what's going on at the Krug Show, it's just things are always going on, and that was like the only time slot we had available, unless we wanted to go like Saturday night. But you know, we're both pretty busy on Saturday nights probably watching Ashton Genty beat the team that I'm betting against.
That's right, Boise State's awesome running back.
Yeah, they seem to always play at like 7:00. It's a good game to watch. But yeah, no, I'm glad to be back. I do want to share something though, because we have been working on this for a little bit. We have some new merch in the merch.
New merch?
Store.
Digital
Yes.
Drew's in the house. What's up, Digital Drew?
We got
to see him out in Chicago.
We got some new merch. Check it out. We got three new shirts in the Kruegshow.com merch website. So go to the Kruegshow.com.
Can you make them any bigger? Tell me what we got. What do these shirts look like?
We got a shirt that says "Welcome to the Bay" with the back being Krug Show logo on the back.
Let's see that logo. Can I see that? Oh, yeah, there you go. I like that. Kind of like Barstool.
Yeah.
Okay, and what does it say on the front?
Welcome to the Bay.
Welcome to the Bay. Okay, not bad, not bad.
And then we got two different Brocktober shirts because it's Brocktober.
Ooh, does it have a little Krug Show thing on the back?
It does not. It's just Brocktober.
Why not? I want the Krug Show emblem on there. What colors does that come in? Just white?
It comes in red. This color. Well, I don't know what color. Like a yellow.
Burgundy? Yellow? Why yellow?
Because it's Brocktober. It's October. I mean, if you don't want the color, you don't gotta wear it. I mean, come on. You got orange. You got white. There's black. So there's all of your fall colors.
So we got three new T-shirts. Three new T-shirts. Raphael 5629er says, like and subscribe, everyone. 5629er says, what's up, Larry? What's up, Kev? What's up, everyone? And then we have this one in the chat as well. Peter Lee says, hey, Krugs. What's going on, Pete? How are you? And we got this one. Armando Campos says, sup, Larry and Kevin? It's my birthday today. Well, happy birthday, Armando.
Happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday. Hope you have a great one. Hope you had a great one. And Raphael 5629er says, happy birthday, Armando. Look at that. Awesome. Rick Diaz, what's going on? My friend coming from Chicago, and some people don't like me, but it's okay. They'll be okay. Not really sure what's going on there. Anyway, we are going to do we're going to go mailbag and then we're going to go call-in show. We got this one from Peter Lee. Krug Show, did you hear the news about the NFLPA trying to prevent or block locker room player access to the media and reporters? Damn, these players are so vanilla, sensitive, soft to face reporters. Yeah, I don't think it's the players. I think it's the players union, and it will all be negotiated with the CBA. So yeah, I did hear about it. It's really changed nothing with the Niners, other than the fact that if you go up to a player in the locker room, you say, "Hey, man, you got a minute? You want to talk?" And if he's like, "Hey, man, can we do it in the hallway?" No sweat. Let's do it. Let's talk in the hallway. Most of the time, the guys would rather talk at their locker than in the hallway. These Smitty says, "Go get Devin White." We're gonna hit on that. D. Lou 22 says Devin White is washed. He sucks.
All right.
So we got a bunch of people in the chat. Everything's going. We get this one from the Smitty says, "Larry, please go get Devin White." John Chisari says, "Larry, Kev Campbell needs to be benched. Play Winters, Bethune, or Graham." In other words, somebody that's not Campbell is basically what he's saying there. And this guy Big Heck says Devin White is miles better than Campbell. Yeah, Devin White is not the player that he was, but he's probably still better than Campbell. Shit. Sean Turner, Matt Mayoko is Campbell. That is hilarious. Digital Drews in the green room, Kev. So why don't we hit our topics before?
Right. So we got some questions, the crucial questions going into Thursday.
Okay.
First question is, how do you feel about Malik Mustafa? Do you think he can cover Malik Mustafa?
How do I feel about him? I don't know.
He can cover. Who's gonna play the coverage safety position with Talanoa Hufanga out?
I don't know. I mean, they're both box safeties. I think my guess is Jair Brown had 10 picks, his final year at Penn State, I believe. So he might be a better coverage player, but Mustafa seems like he's a little bit better athlete, a little bit better mover. My guess is Mustafa's going to play the field and Brown's going to play in the box. Brown's the strong safety and Mustafa's the free safety. We'll see. I mean, I've asked this question like 9 different times. Nobody seems like they want to give me an answer. So fine, that's fine. We'll wait till the game. We'll see who's out there, and we'll take it from there. But yeah, I'd like to see Mustafa be able to play that deep middle if possible, because I think he's got movement ability that I think is better than Brown's.
Really,
he ran faster.
I mean, I don't know how they're gonna do this, but Brown was a really productive interceptor in college.
Yeah,
playing as a 2 high safety. So does that mean he can play single high? I know he's not.
Well, it just means quick. He can catch interceptions. It doesn't, he's got ball production, but it doesn't mean he can cover anybody. I mean, Tayshaun Gibson had ball production. He had like 35 career interceptions, but he wasn't very good in coverage. So
right. But he played that just means that he played that position. Like he's playing in space. If you're in the box, you're not getting that many interceptions,
Yeah.
So he has the experience. He has the experience playing at that role. I think Malik Mustafa, he's a little bit more of a hitter. Like I don't know. I haven't really seen his coverage. Like I don't really know what his coverage, how it's going to translate to the NFL.
And yet I asked him about it. He said he could play coverage. So we'll see. So what's question 2?
Number 2. And I think this is almost a question for both teams, but for the 49ers specifically, do the 49ers need to run the ball more? We saw them get away from the run last week, and you have the stat in the games that Kyle Shanahan, what we would consider his worst losses, he's always getting away from the run. Do the Niners need to get to the run to win this game against the Seahawks?
Yeah, I looked up the 5 biggest defeats in Kyle Shanahan's tenure. I took out the NFC Championship game because Purdy was out, and I just saw that he in the 5 biggest games of his life, which would be, I think, I had the both Super Bowls against Kansas City, the NFC Championship game against the Rams, and that's 3. Oh, and then the Ravens game and the Atlanta Super Bowl where he was the OC. So those 5 games, I looked at the numbers, run pass, and Kyle Shanahan's teams passed the ball 61% of the time and ran the ball only 39% of the time. And I just kind of feel like, if there's a common denominator of why the Niners blow a lot of these big games under Shanahan, it's because they don't run the ball enough. And that was pretty clear. When you're running 39% of the time, you're not. If you ask Shanahan, what's your philosophy? He would say, I want to maintain offensive balance. Well, guess what? In the 5 biggest games of your life, you ran the ball 39% of the time and you passed the ball 61% of the time. Is that offensive balance? I would say it's not. So practice what you preach. If you really believe strongly in offensive balance, then when you get into the biggest games of your life, try to maintain that offensive balance a little bit better than you have. 60-40 pass run is not offensive balance. And it really isn't. It's heavy pass.
And look at last week. They were up 13 at the going into the second half.
They led the entire game. They did
the ball less in the second half than the first half. It boggles my mind because they already weren't running the ball. They only had 14 carries in the first half. They had 26 to end the game. It's like, why aren't you running?
It was stupid. It was stupid. I mean, the Arizona Cardinals are like one of the worst run defenses in all of football, and their pass defense was pretty good. And you wind up passing it more than you run it. That's unforgivable. And the fact that it was 60-40, pass run in his biggest game showed that he gets pass happy. So that's his issue. Yeah. I think we've had enough examples of it right now.
And just my opinion here. I think that they're going to run the ball crazy on Thursday. That's what I would expect. On a short week, like, you don't need to get fancy. You don't need to make big mistakes on fancy plays that you didn't have any time to rehearse. It's like, just run the rock up the middle. The Seahawks are banged up on the defensive line. Their linebackers are just okay. Their secondary is pretty good, but that's also banged up. But just run the ball. Like, they've just been dominated. They got dominated against the Lions in the run game. So it's like, if the Niners can just replicate that, I think they're going to win the game.
Washington had run for 215 yards the week prior against Arizona. And the Niners, can't run the ball more than 14 times with their best runner. I didn't get that. I really didn't get it. I still don't get it. And when you look at this Seattle team, look at their defensive numbers. I'm looking at them right now. They are 10th in total defense. They're 20th against the run and 7th against the pass. So what would you rather do offensively against Seattle? They're 20th against I feel like this is like, hey, let's see if we can come up with a trick question. The Seahawks are 20th against the pass, or 20th against the run, and 7th against the pass. Should the Niners run or pass? What? And the Niners passing offense, by the way, the Niners rushing offense is 8th. Best in the league, and their passing offense is 4th. But when you look at Seattle doesn't run the ball well. They're 22nd on offense running it, and they're 20th on defense stopping the run. So it's a big game of run the ball, stop the run. And last week they quit on the run. I think they only ran it like 5 or 6 times. They got away from their offensive balance against the New York Giants. Seattle did. So expect them to recommit to the run game. Walker had 5 carries last week. Seattle's offensive line gave up 7 sacks and 10 hits on the quarterback. And their interior offensive line gave up 3 sacks to Dexter Lawrence. So, Seattle, I would imagine, is going to try to recommit to the run themselves. But that's the Niners' plan. Run the ball, stop the run, win the game.
All right. Next question.
Here we go.
heard John Lynch today. We heard John Lynch today say that the Seahawks have the best skill position weapons that they're going to face all season long. No. That may or may not be true. They are going to play the Packers and the Lions, the Chiefs, and I guess the Chiefs are pretty banged up, but still, you get my point. The Seahawks got some guys, though. But let me ask you this. Who
I like the
concerns
Packers
you?
better.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like the Lions more. Who concerns you the the most on the Seahawks offense in terms of skill positions? Is it DK or is it Kenneth Walker or is it someone else?
It's DK. I mean, I think Mooney Ward is a great defender against DK. Mooney brings a ton of confidence into the game. He'll probably follow DK all over the place. And DK's fumbled, I think, 3 times already this year. So you definitely go for the football and try to punch it out. You can also get him off his game by just getting in his head, and he loses self-control and he gets himself, he starts screaming and yelling. So he's not the smartest player. He's easy to get kind of out of his game, but I would say DK. He's big and he's fast, and he leads them with 421 receiving yards. He's second to Smith. How do you pronounce Smith's name again? Smith
and Jigba.
He's got 1 less reception than him. So yeah, I would say stopping DK is number 1. I mean, stopping Walker, but I think DK is even a little bit more difficult to stop.
Yeah. I mean, I think people in the Seahawks community will tell you that they want Kenneth Walker to run the ball more. But the reality of the Seahawks team is that they've passed the ball. Oh yeah, but him and Charbonnet are both 2 great backs. But the reality is the Seahawks have passed the ball at a rate, 3rd highest yards per game in terms of passing yards. They have 270 yards per game. That's 3rd highest in the NFL. Yeah, DK, I think you're right on that. DK is something to be concerned with, especially since Charvarius Ward hasn't played that well this year. And obviously he's gonna follow him around, because I would not feel good about Isaac Yiadom lining up against DK. Like, that just sounds like a PI waiting to happen.
Yeah,
for sure.
All right, question 4, or
question
you ready
4
for
here? Okay. Question 4 here. How do you fix the 49ers red zone issues, or is it just McCaffrey?
I asked Brock about this, and Brock blamed himself. He's like, I need to be better. And it wasn't one of those things where it's just like, I'm going to try to show that I'm the leader by blaming myself. I think it was genuine. I think he really believes that he needs to be better in the red zone. He just needs to see. Here's the problem right now with Brock in the red zone is that the Niners, because their receivers don't get separation and their offensive line is kind of uneven. I think that's the word I would use, uneven. It's not that they're getting torched. It's not one guy's a disaster. It's just you just don't know. Today it's Brendel. Tomorrow it's McKivitz. One day it's Banks. You just never know where the pressures are coming from. So I think the offensive line is struggling a little bit. I think the receivers are struggling a lot, and it's putting a lot of pressure on Brock Purdy. And so he's either got to throw the ball, with what the play's been called, and throw a lot of 50-50 balls, or he's got to move around in the pocket and try to create plays. And he's moving around the pocket. He's trying to create plays. He is creating a ton of good plays. But when you move around as much as he is, then occasionally you're going to run into a sack, and he has. And occasionally you're going to run into a situation where you got to throw it when you shouldn't, and you're going to turn it over, and he has. So I think then when you get into the red zone, if you're moving the team, and they are moving the team, I mean, I think, what are they, 2nd in the league in yards per play? I mean, they're moving the ball. They're just not scoring touchdowns in the red zone. So I think what's happening in the red zone is the same thing that's happening in the other areas of the field. His receivers aren't open. The line is not standing up tremendously or not consistently. And so he's improvising and moving around, and the windows are really, really small. And I think that I think the play design, I think Shanahan's play design has probably gotten a little lackadaisical, because they've leaned so heavily on McCaffrey to just make it all work in the red zone. He scored 18 touchdowns in the red zone last year. So, I don't think it was on Kyle to scheme up as much space creation as he needs to without him. So without McCaffrey, I think Kyle needs to be a little bit better as far as route combos and designing the overall design of the play that creates the space. And then Brock, I think Brock's right. I think Brock's got to be more decisive, and I think he's got to speed up his clock. His clock is at 1 speed, and then it's a little slower this year than last year because the receivers aren't open and the line's not standing up. So he's holding the ball a little bit more, And then that's really burning him, I think, in the red zone as far as his timing. When I asked him this question, he's like, I've got to recalibrate my timing and my whole clock in the red zone. And he's totally right. He needs to speed it up. He needs to be more accurate. He needs to stay with the play that's called. And I think they also need to start run the ball a little bit more effectively in the red zone. And maybe that's going to Keyshawn Vaughn, who's a bigger back. But I think Shanahan would like to see him run it better in the red zone. I think Brock needs to be better overall in the red zone. And I think he just needs to speed up his clock. I think it's a little too slow.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's definitely an adjustment for Purdy to make without McCaffrey. Like McCaffrey is the best skill position player in the NFL. Like, I don't know. He's a one of a kind athlete. The gravity that he pulls from the defense just has to change the game when he's not in there. Like the fact that the linebackers have to, cover him, like they have to be afraid of like him either getting the ball or running out and catching a pass. Like he's just so, I mean, what did you say it was 18 of his 21 touchdowns came in the red zone? Yeah. It's like he was the 49ers offense in like, he's the piece that they
right. And they got lazy. They got lazy. They just said, "Oh, you know what? We'll just have McCaffrey and we'll just dump it to McCaffrey. It'll all work out." And in reality, you need an incredible play design, or you need your quarterback to play on time and throw with accuracy and probably go to one of his first two reads. I mean, how many times do you see a quarterback on the goal line in the red zone or on the goal line go through like 3 or 4 progressions? Right. Everything happens much faster. The decisions have to be made much quicker. And I think Brock's right to blame himself. I think his clock is a little slower this year for good reason, but it really burns him in the red zone. He's got to make the adjustment. And I think he will. I think he understands that he needs to make the adjustment. All right, one more, or should we go to the calls?
Final question here. Are we seeing the decline of Deebo Samuel? And the reason I asked this is because I did some digging today and I found some pretty interesting stuff. Deebo Samuel is known for being a yak guy, right? Obviously, he's the yak monster. If you look at his statistics, let me see if I can share the screen here. If you look at the statistics each year, he's leading the league, and in one year he was third, but he's first in yak over expectation 2020, first in yak over expectation 2021, third in 2022, first in 2023. This year he's 38th, and the Niners as a team has just plummeted in the yak category. Is this a team thing? Is it a Deebo thing? What do you think about the Niners just not being able to get yak this year? And what do you think about Deebo Samuel's performance so far?
Well, he looked good in camp, but he's not. To me, when I watch him run routes, it looks like he's got no agility at all. He's got no ability to cut. He's got no ability to double move anybody. He looks really tight in the hips. He doesn't look like a route runner at all. He looks like a guy who's going to struggle to get open. So maybe, his day, I know he doesn't want to be a running back, but he's probably better as a running back. And even though his running back numbers are awful, he's got 15 carries for 36 yards or 14 carries for 36 yards. He's been really bad as a running back. As far as the lack of rack and lack of yak, I think it's directly related to the fact that the 49ers are dead last in the NFL in yards of separation per target. They're only separating by like 2 yards on these passing plays. And when the defender's right there, guess it's hard to get run after the catch. It's the defender's draped all over the offensive player. It's really difficult to get run after the catch. So I think that's a big part of it. I just think that's, Deebo is a big part of their run after the catch. I think he's lost a step. Ayuk is a big run after the catch guy. He's working his way back in shape. McCaffrey's a great run after the catch guy. He hasn't played a single down. So who's left? You got JJ, you got Kittle. Those guys are slow and they're not going to get lots of run after the catch. So I do expect it will get better as the season progresses, but I think it's directly related to the fact that they're getting no separation. When you get no separation, you get no yards after the catch. I mean, the Niners last year were 5th in the league in team yak. This year, they're 29th in team yak. So I really think it has a lot to do with the fact that there's not enough space for a lot of these offensive players. They're catching it. They're getting tackled. You can see it. I mean, it's on the film.
Yeah, watch the film. Watch Deebo Samuel run a slant. Like he's just blanketed.
It's blanketed.
It's
all,
it's
I mean,
absurd.
the guys are
It's
all
actually
over.
It's actually crazy. Like it's like eye opening. Like, is this really happening? If you watch the Minnesota Vikings game where he had 10 catches, every single one of his catches was an insanely contested. I mean, great hands by Deebo, but it's like he's not getting any separation. Obviously, he's a very skilled player, and getting him with the ball in your hands is in his hands is what you want. I don't know. Something about him just.
Well, this game. We're going to find out right now. This game is going to tell us an awful lot. Niners just lost a game they shouldn't have lost to the Cardinals. The Seahawks just lost a game they shouldn't have lost to the Giants. Niners have dropped 3 out of 4. They're hungry. Seattle's dropped 2 in a row. They're hungry. Seattle's pass defense is a mess. Daniel Jones went into Seattle without Malik Neighbors and no Devin Singletary and lit them ablaze. He had a quarterback rating of 110. He had 2 touchdowns. He threw for 257. You look at this pass defense for Seattle. Jared Goff earlier this year set an NFL record. He went 18 for 18 against the Seahawks defense in week 4. If you look at the game, Giants Seahawks from last week, Darius Slayton looked like a star in this game. He had 120 yards and a touchdown. If you can't cover Darius Slayton, you probably can't cover Ayuk either. And Seattle's got this cornerback, Trey Brown. He gave up over 100 yards and a touchdown all by himself. Seattle has allowed a rating of 96.7 to wide receivers this year. That's 20th in the NFL. Reek Woolen, their big stud corner, has been awesome this year. He's given up a 16.3 rating when targeted. He ain't going to play. So Seattle allows a 100.3 rating to tight ends. So look for Kittle to go off. I think this is the get right game. I mean, run the ball, pass the ball. There should be a lot of openings for the Niners in this game. Tyrone Tracy, who's a decent receiver, went for 129 yards and 7.2 a carry against this defense last week. Mason just rumbled for 6.4 against Arizona. He's averaging 107 yards and 5.1 a carry for the year. Seattle on the season has given up 4.7 a carry to running backs. You run Jordan Mason a ton in this game. And then, I would say on the other side of the ball, Seattle's going to try to get that run game going. Walker had only 5 carries last week. Geno Smith can run. He threw for 280 last week, or he's thrown for at least 280 plus in 4 straight games, and he can run. But their offensive line did give up 7 sacks and 10 hits on Geno to the Giants. Dexter Lawrence feasted. He had 3 sacks against the interior of that Seattle offensive line. So I like the Niners to win this game. I think they'll be able to do what they want offensively. The real key number for the Niners is 8 turnovers in 5 fucking games. You can't turn the ball over as much as they have and win games. Everything in the NFL is a possession or 2. You can't cough it up 8 times. That if they take care of the football, I think they'll be able to do what they want offensively. And if they can shut down Walker, I think they can make, they can put a lot of pressure on Geno, pressure him in his face.
Yeah, you want Geno in passing situations. Amen.
Right,
amen to that.
Let's do some calls. Let's go. Who do you want to go to? We'll go to Digital Drew. Digital Drew, how are you? What happened? Where is he?
Wait. I don't know.
There he is.
There he is.
Hey.
There he is.
Hey,
do we
gents,
want to
how
do
you
that,
doing?
Kev, or do we want to go this? Where happened to our other layout?
Like that?
Yeah, we can go that.
Ooh.
There we go.
Here, let me change that over there.
There we go.
There
Cool.
we go. What's up?
Hey, gentlemen, it's been quite a long time since I jumped on here with you. It is
What's going on,
fantastic to
man?
be back.
I like the Mortal Kombat in the background. I like the Niner jersey. I
Yeah.
like the Niner hat. We're all decked out. We're looking sharp.
Yeah, awesome. So your questions, I'm just going to rifle through my takes on them because I kind of like to do that when you guys throw them out. So the first one was Malik Mustafa. You asked, can he play the cover safety? Well, he couldn't be any worse than who was back there so far. Because have they gotten like all pro coverage out of their safety positions at this point? No. Can he do any worse? Not, I don't think so. I'm excited to see what he does, but I am expecting a rookie kind of performance where you're going to catch him out. He's going to blow some coverages. This is where DK can burn us, and I think it's going to be at the hands of Mustafa when that happens. So I'm excited, but I don't have the highest confidence. I could be completely wrong there, but
he's a great kid, but we're going to find out how if he can cover. You know, I mean, it's the NFL, absolutely. And it's a difficult thing to cover.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, running the ball, Larry, you had just said something leading into this where everybody is passing on Seattle. And you could pass on them for days. So given the tendency for Kyle to overthink his opponent, I expect him to run it 55 times this game. Because, you can pass on him. That's when he's going to turn around and actually hand off. Should they run the ball more? Absolutely. But I think a bigger problem when it comes to their play calling is predictability. I think all of us at home have been watching these games sitting back and go, okay, he's going to pass on first down, then he's going to run on third down, and then they're going to have a 3rd and 6 where Brock is going to have to pull out some heroics to try to at least get a first. How many times have we seen this year where it's pass on first, run on second, and then scramble drill on third down? It's a bit frustrating when you can sit back at home and just go, this is exactly what we're going to do and be proven right. I mean, it's a fun party trick to show my kid while we're watching the game, but it doesn't make for good football viewing. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating how predictable we've become on offense. But yeah, I do expect them to run the ball. A bigger question when running the ball, can you hand it off 25, 30 times, to one running back or 1.5 running backs? Because we keep coming back to this with Kyle of usage rates. And I think this goes into the Debo issue you had brought up. I think it was 2019. They just rode Debo like crazy. This year, they're going to take Mason. They're going to ride him like crazy until CMC gets back. Last year, they rode CMC and just basically broke him. He had one of the highest usage rates in all of the NFL. But right now, it's just
I asked the question
Mason.
Early on. I did ask the question. I asked it like week 1 or week 2. I'm like, Kyle, CMC's on pace for 400 touches. I go, and I asked him the question I wanted to ask him. I said, is this a sustainable pace? And he was like, was not even concerned. He's like, hey, he's a great player. We like to hand it to him, and we like to throw the ball to him too. And then there's also, we don't intend to throw it to him all the time. And sometimes, we'll check it down to him. So then he gets those touches. And I'm like, yeah, because of that last reason, wouldn't you want to kind of, monitor his touches a little bit more? And I just felt like they had to get to the playoffs with a fully intact CMC, and they kind of almost did, but not quite. And that's why I think they lost.
Yeah, and Debo, Kittle, all the same thing, right? They got there. They were really banged up. Now, everybody in the NFL is banged up when you get into the playoffs, but I think it was a little bit more for the Niners because that usage rate comes back. I heard something, speaking of usage rates, I heard something the other day, one of the announcers say, I know last year we talked about Bosa's usage rate, and one of the announcers said, in last week's game, Bosa played every single defensive snap. For a guy who really thrives on explosion, how in the world is he meant to get that kind of push every single play if he's in every single play? I don't understand it.
Well, they just got. They got to get better. I mean, they got to get better at defensive end. Their defensive end backup depth is awful. I mean, look what you got: Bosa and you got Floyd. And then you got Robert Beal, who's super young and raw, and you got Sam Aquinu, and I like Sam a lot. But I mean, this you used to have, Arden Key and Samson Ebukam and Charles Omenihu, and you had guys who were a lot more accomplished than Robert Beal and Sam Aquinu, and it's like, it just seems like if Bosa doesn't do it, there's nobody else that can really on that of the defensive ends. We saw Leonard Floyd have a couple good games, but he also had, he's had 2 good games and 3 down games.
Yeah. Is this just kind of the reality when you have such a top-heavy team, where you have these stars that are incredibly well paid, and not saying they don't deserve it. Go get your money, get that bag. But when you do that, I mean, you do have to take cuts somewhere, and a lot of
you got to
time
hit the
that's in your
draft.
depth, right?
Your young guys have
Yeah.
got to play ball for you, and if they can't, then you're going to have problems because you're going to have to sign guys off the street, and that's kind of where they're at. I mean, you know, I haven't made a huge deal about this. I've said it a few times, and I really do believe it. I think if by chance the Niners don't, this is the end of this run, I think the beginning of the end was the Hargrave trade. I mean, they wanted Hargrave, and they sold off on all their veteran quality depth.
Yeah.
And a lot of their good run defenders. I mean, how good I miss Azeez Al-Shaair. And more importantly, they miss Azeez Al-Shaair.
Absolutely.
And, that's a guy they would have been able to keep if they didn't have this big play for this interior pass rusher. And then the interior pass rusher gave them a little bit more pass rush, but what they lost in the run defense with Ridgeway and Z's and Ebukam and Jimmy Ward and Emmanuel Mosley and all these guys, it was like 6 good run defenders that had to be sacrificed for Hargrave. Yep. And then Hargrave rolls in and he's just totally ordinary. I mean, he had a couple good games, but nothing great, nothing spectacular, not worth gutting your defensive run depth, run defense depth. Yeah. I mean, they just gave him too much. Digital, we got to jump because we got so many people that want to jump in here, and I want to make sure we get to them. We're only going for an hour tonight, but great to see you, man. Great to see you.
Digital.
Yeah.
You're the man.
Thanks.
We're going to be Digital. We're going to be doing regular call-in shows. So
great.
We want to see you.
I'll be here.
Appreciate you, brother.
I'll jump in. Cool. Thanks.
Have a good night.
Take care.
Digital Drew from the Windy City. Love Digital Drew, man. We've been talking to Digital Drew for a long time. Who's next, Kev? Who's up next?
Johnny.
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Yes! It's Johnny from Vegas.
It's Johnny C.
Cool.
Johnny, but before we go to Johnny, let's play the Johnny thing that Kev made. For those who don't know, Johnny's been with us before, and here it was. Let's go to Johnny. Johnny C.
Let me try, Larry. Okay, so Larry, here's the deal. Larry, honestly, Larry. No, but Larry, I gripe here, though, Larry. Here, Larry. And now Larry. I mean, Larry, but here's the thing, Larry.
What do you think?
I think they're going to sign Jason Peters.
How old is he?
He's 40, but and Larry. I mean, Larry. I wish I could, Larry.
Johnny, we're gonna have to jump. The old studio. We got to see the old studio there too. That was pretty nice. The original studio before we.
The funny thing, Jason Peters is now on the Seahawks.
Yes, exactly. That's why Johnny's with us. Johnny, good to see you, man. How are you?
Not happy about the 2-3 start, but I'm optimistic. Here's the deal.
Okay.
We have 10 players on defense because Campbell is the worst player I've ever seen in my life. That's pretty much how that's working. They need to run inside the tackles with Mason when you get to the goal line. Don't run him wide like he's actually McCaffrey. He's not Christian McCaffrey. And that is where Kyle's stuck. He's running his offense like McCaffrey's still playing. Unfortunately, he's not. And you see how bad the red zone offense is without him. So it's not that we have an identity problem. We have a Kyle problem because his play calls inside the 20 are pretty bad. I mean, you run wide on 1st and goal against Arizona. Why are you running wide and not up the middle on him? When Mason was averaging 6 some. So yeah, it's not good, but there's things that could be fixed.
It's not good, but have you given up hope?
No, because somehow the Niners are still 4-1 to win the NFC and they're favored.
It's because they know the Niners are legit.
Bosa should have the same amount of sacks that Dexter Lawrence did in this game. Seattle is not a good football team. They won 3 games facing Pop Warner quarterbacks. They just let some guy named Tracy look like Barry Sanders on him, and they made Daniel Jones look good.
Yeah, but I mean, Johnny. The only team I'm buying Halloween decorations, and the only teams the Niners have beat so far are the lowly Jets and the sad Patriots.
I get it.
I mean, I don't know that it's like I don't know that we should be feeling too good about things.
I mean, I get it, but on the bright side, Geno Smith's never been in the 49ers, so we have that going for us.
Which is nice.
But I hope it doesn't come down to a kick, because I don't know if I could take Matthew Wright kicking a 45-yarder. I don't feel comfortable.
Johnny, I don't know if it's just the angle, or is that the biggest bill of a baseball hat in the history of baseball hats?
I think it's the.
That looks like a pizza box.
Yeah, hey, it's my Niner hat I've had for like 5 years. I bent the crap out of it, so there's that.
There you go. Give us a prediction, Johnny.
No,
Give us
I got one last. I got one
ahead.
last thing for you, Johnny.
Oh, you got one?
Is the key to the Seahawks' success? Is it Jason Peters?
Well, I want to say the key to the Niners' success is Mooney Ward, but he's been absolutely pathetically bad.
Fair enough.
He's probably been the Niners' worst corner. That's where I'm at there in a contract year.
Ward's been the worst corner.
I don't think he's been good. He hasn't
Demo's
been like
better for sure.
Yeah, Demo's been playing great.
Lenore's their best corner right now.
Johnny, are you still in Vegas?
Yep.
Kevin and I went to the Golden Steer during the Super Bowl week.
Nice. One of the best old school steakhouses out here. And by the way, the spread
Big Mo Easy took us.
The spread jumped from 2 to 3.5. By the way, if you want a prediction,
how are you wagering on this thing?
Oh, I already bet the Niners, but 30-17. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, but I better see something tomorrow. Because at this point, you either do it or you're probably looking at a real spiral, because I don't think they're beating Kansas City based on what I've seen so far.
Johnny, if the Niners spiral out of control, Johnny, what will this do to you personally?
It will cost me a lot of money.
Johnny has the house on this one.
Well,
Johnny, you're the man. We're gonna jump, Johnny, but
let's do this again.
We got to do this again. We got to do this again because you're very popular with the audience. And if you could just give us But Larry,
we better win Thursday. That's all I got.
There you go. And on that note, Johnny C from Vegas. I like that. I like Johnny. Do we go Trevor?
Yes.
Trevor's in the house. What's up, Trevor?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good to see you again, man. I like that Rice jersey.
Are you gaming right now? What's going on?
I am. I'm playing a little bit of Fortnite, getting some
There you go.
Get some dubs. Nice.
Well, listen,
did you say you're watching little dubs?
Oh no, I'm playing some ranked stuff. So
I got you.
He's playing Fortnite.
He's playing Fortnite.
A little bit.
Yeah, I know what Fortnite is.
All right. Just making sure.
Right. I mean,
digital Drew's like Fortnite, not Mortal Kombat.
I mean, he could have been playing Minecraft or something like that. I mean, something really, little kiddish.
It's not a little kid game. A lot of people play that actually.
Minecraft, really?
Yeah,
Minecraft's like one of the
most popular games in the world.
It's pretty dope. But
where are you? No, where are you? Are you in Tucson?
No, I'm in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Grand Rapids, Michigan. That's it. That's it. I'm forgetting that Kev's doppelganger lives out in Tucson. So what's going on, man? How you feeling about the game tomorrow night?
I could feel a little bit better about it, given our start.
Hasn't been a good start.
I do think that some of the big names in the locker room, definitely Fred. He's a big leader. He cares about this team. Bosa, you can kind of tell. He had a look on his face after the last game like he couldn't believe what happened. So I do feel like they're going to do some motivating. I know George wants to win. But I think the issue starts with Kyle. I mean, there's nobody that's going to be able to replace Kyle on the spot, that's going to do as good a job as he does. And he's a smart coach, but he's not a brilliant coach, and he definitely has his flaws.
You're losing you're losing your love and feeling for Shanahan. I can tell.
Yeah. It just feels like the one thing that the Niners can't do wrong, the one mistake they can't make, they find a way to make that mistake. It almost seems more often than not in tense situations. And, that starts with coaching for sure.
Here's the thing. I mean, I know there's a lot of people that are banging on Shanahan. And, I mean, I get it. The coach is going to get criticism if the team doesn't win. But I don't know. I mean, Shanahan's responsible for all of it, right? So it's not about like, oh, well, no, it's not Shanahan, it's the personnel. Well, he's he hired the GM, so it's the Shanahan show. So it's all on him no matter what. But I don't know that Shanahan lost it. I mean, to me, it seems like they haven't gotten the right special teams mix. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but they don't ever get that right. They're always challenged on special teams. And then this defense has, they keep trying to run it back, but I mean, it seems like they were in the Super Bowl 4 years ago. They had Buckner, Armstead, D Ford, and Bosa. And now you've got Malik Collins, Jordan Elliott, Bosa, and Leonard Floyd. And it's just not quite the same. And then you take out Greenlaw, who I think is an all-pro type player, even if he's not recognized as an all-pro player. We know, all Niner fans know that guy plays as good as any linebacker there is.
Oh,
so you take out an all-pro player and you move in an old, replacement level player whose former team banished him. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if he was really good, don't you think Gutekunst would have wanted to keep him in Green Bay? It's like, I feel like Green Bay knew something that the Niners didn't know, and now we're watching it. I mean, I don't know if you saw that Kyler Murray run from Sunday, but he just ran right by Campbell. Like Campbell was not even there.
And I would also blame that on Hufanga, who's also going to be out. But I think Hufanga's been off of his game. That's been a surprise this year.
Well, he hasn't played. I mean, last week was his first game.
Yeah, and he played terrible in the snaps he got. It
agree.
Look good.
Yeah, and you heard you heard Nick Sorensen saying that he thinks that Hufanga can get better without actually being on the field, just by taking those mental reps, which I get to an extent. But I mean, you got to be out there on the field. I mean, you're not going to get better if you're not playing.
I mean, look at this. I'm gonna share the screen on this one. I want you guys to see this. Look at this. This is the run. This is the question I asked Sorensen, and listen to his answer, and listen to watch the run. You can see it here. I'm going to grow the whole thing so you can see it as well as you can. Here's me asking Sorensen about the Kyler Murray run, and then watch it. Kev put the footage up here, and you'll see that Campbell is just. We'll freeze it, but here it is.
Murray 50-yard run on the film. What was the breakdown on that play?
Yeah, it was. They got us a bit on that one. You were in single high there, and they just got us on the edge. We didn't bump out, and then we got caught up from the post, and it was a couple different things.
Wait a second. They just got us there? I mean, what do you mean? The quarterback went untouched 50 yards on the run for a touchdown. It wasn't like, it was a 7-yard completion to the tight end. A quarterback ran half the field and nobody got a finger on him.
Yeah, I didn't.
Now, if we watch this again,
there, and they just got us on the
right there.
They just got us on the
look at this.
Just got us on the edge. Just got us on the edge. We didn't bump out.
We didn't bump out. What does that even mean? Here we go. You got Campbell sitting right here.
Look at Hufanga at the top, though. Look at Hufanga.
You got Hufanga on the top, but his angles, he's way over here.
Yeah, but
you got Campbell right there with looks like he's controlling the blocker. Does it not? Right now, you would swear that Campbell's going to come off the block and make this tackle, except when we move it slowly, there goes Murray. He's 5 yards away from Campbell. You look at Campbell's on the logo. Murray's on the 45 right here. He's 5 yards further downfield than Murray. And watch Murray. There he is. There he is. Now he still's got the angle. Still has the angle. Still has the angle, but he's not coming off the block and he's not being held. Still has the angle. And then he just jogs.
We didn't bump out, and then we got caught up from the post, and it was a couple different things.
Watch the Murray.
But I mean, it's and also it's not just one play. Like you've played this.
It's
play
not just one play, but I mean that to me is just criminal.
This play, there's worse plays than this that we haven't shown. And this Campbell's just looked bad all season.
Sure, but I mean
he's looked bad all preseason. It's been an issue, but it's like I'll ask you this, Trevor. Honestly, who are you going to at linebacker if it's not Campbell?
If it's not Campbell, I'm going to Winters. I think you need to get some speed there on that second level. Just being able to fly around. Especially if you get some pass rush. Even if it's not the stickiest coverage, if you have someone keeping up with the receivers, it makes the quarterback hesitant to throw in that position. So I definitely think that speed on the back end can't help. I mean, can't be worse than what you got.
Not to interrupt you, Trev, but look at this chat. Coach Scrapper JC444. The roof just blew off of the Tropicana Field in Tampa, Florida from the hurricane.
I was looking at that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this past year, actually, I was staying in Palmetto.
That's crazy.
We have friends there. We stayed there, in February. Went to Anna Marie Island, and that just got drilled. Eye of the storm went right over it.
You said you would go with Winters. I think that's a great idea. Here's the thing. I get a chance to go in the locker room and see kind of the players interact with one another and kind of meet them and feel out their kind of personalities. I just don't think Campbell didn't even like the fact that he shared time in a game earlier this year. I think it's one of those things where he has to start or he has to be gone.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be one of these things where, Campbell's now on the bench. Nope, not going to work. You're either going to have to start him or you're going to have to cut him. And I would cut him. And here's the thing about it. Tampa has a linebacker who went to Florida State named Kalen DeLoach, who runs 4.47. He's really small, relatively small. He's instead of being 240, he's more like 220. But he runs sub 4.5. He's super fast, and he was a very productive player. And he was productive in the preseason with Tampa, and then pulled his groin. He's now on their practice squad. I was asking Tatum Bethune about him because he was teammates with him at FSU, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we competed for everything." Bethune was the thumper hitter who didn't run well, and DeLoach was the guy who ran like the wind. And if I were the Niners, I would cut Campbell. I would go with these other linebackers, and I would sign a guy like DeLoach who runs sub 4.5 off another practice squad. How do you wind up getting better speed? By getting faster guys. That's how you get better speed, by getting faster guys. Ronnie Bell, sit down. I want to see Terrace Marshall. I want to see Jacob Cowing. I want to see somebody. I don't want to see a redundant part who's slow.
Absolutely.
I want to see somebody with some scoot. I want to see somebody with some movement ability. That goes for Campbell. That goes for Bell. I don't think the 49ers, it's like you almost have to have an explanation from the 49ers of why guys are playing. Well, this guy's playing because of that, and this guy's playing because of that, and the reason this guy's in there is because that, and screw that. This is pro sports. Play your best players.
I agree.
Play
100%.
your best players. I don't want an explanation. Don't tell me about a hierarchy. Don't tell me a bunch of bullshit about this or that. Play your best players. They've got some slow players. And they've done this now 2 straight years. I'm losing my mind. Last year, they went with Isaiah Oliver over Deshaun Jameson. Deshaun Jameson was way better than Oliver. And I knew that in camp. They didn't, for some reason, know that until after the season was over. How many games did Isaiah Oliver cost them? They cut Jameson. They kept Oliver. Stop making decisions that are protecting your evaluations in the offseason.
Yeah.
You're going to win some, you're going to lose some. You can't compound your mistakes by doubling down on every mistake. You shouldn't double down on Oliver, but they did. And then they eventually had to cut him. And they didn't turn it around until they took him off the field. Now they've got Campbell. They signed him as a free agent. They've got Jalen Graham. They've got D. Winters. They got Tatum Bethune. You've got other practice squads. But they keep doubling down on Campbell when he obviously can't run and he can't play. So, I mean, at some point, it's like you can get mad at me because I'm screaming and yelling about it, or you can do something about it. I'm giving you the answers to the test. You know, if you don't want to take them, don't take them. But don't worry about me. Worry about the avalanche of Niner fans that are going to shit in your face for the next 5 weeks as you tumble out of playoff contention in every way imaginable. YouTube, radio. And Niner fans are absolutely going to go bananas and berserk, and they're going to blame Shanahan and Lynch. Make the changes. My God, Campbell is too slow. He cannot play. Make the change. Oliver couldn't play. Did they make the change? Only after it cost them like 4 or 5 games. They need to make the changes. They only have one running back. His name's Jordan Mason. They don't even have their second best running back active. Their second best running back is clearly Keyshawn Vaughn, and he's not even up. They got Garendo. Why? Because they're trying to justify the fact that they drafted Garendo in the 4th round. He's raw. He's super raw. You can't depend on him. And Taylor, you signed him as a free agent. Why is he in front of Keyshawn Vaughn if you're not going to give him any carries? So they've got. It's like they're protecting in season, their off season decision making. Screw all of that. Play the best players. We can live with the results. And if you need someone to explain to Jed why you're going with player A over player B, I'll do it. But stop going with the lesser player because you need to justify some stupid free agent signing in the offseason. I can't watch this anymore without calling it out. I just can't.
Yeah, development is huge. And when you're just signing veterans or old guys that have a lower floor, and the other guys, they might have a lower floor, but a way higher ceiling, exponentially higher. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to not start those guys and let them develop.
I just think I think what you said is right. Like Campbell probably is a player where it's like he's not going to take the decline of his career as gracefully as some other players. Like as a player who once was an all-pro player, he's not going to be cool with riding the bench. And there's probably promises that John Lynch and this team made to Campbell and his agent when they signed. Like he was under the understanding that he is the stopgap replacement for Greenlaw until Greenlaw comes back. He was probably promised that he's not going to be on the bench. He's going to be the guy on the starting roster.
Break the promise.
I know. That's what I'm saying. They probably are going to have to break that promise. But think about it. I
promised you could go to Harvard.
No. Think about it.
I broke that promise.
If you truly believe that Campbell has to be cut, he can't be bent. He has to be cut.
Yes.
That's a huge. Okay, but think about it this way. That is a huge loss in the depth of your linebacker room. Like now what? Now it's Winters and a 7th round rookie. I mean, you're talking about Winters, a 7th round rookie, and Graham, who you just signed 2 days ago.
Right. That's why you got a coach. That's why you have a coach, because the coach is supposed to be able to coach him up. Other teams play rookies. Other teams play second-year players. Other teams can introduce young players to their mix. Why can't the Niners?
No, I'm just saying.
You're right. You're going to take away a guy who's got experience, but what's that experience doing for him right now as Kyler Murray runs 3 feet away from him and he can't get off a block and he didn't make the tackle. He didn't grab his ankle and hold on for somebody else to help him out. He whiffed altogether and didn't get a finger on him.
Yeah.
It's over. It's over for Campbell.
One more point real quick. If I could flip over to the offensive side of the ball too.
Yeah.
Talking about Purdy a little bit. I think he's played really well. Starting off the season, he's standing in the pocket more, threading the needle. had the highest completion percentage in tight window throws, and all that part's great. But a part that's not so great that's been pretty noticeable is he's passing up a lot of the underneath stuff. And he's holding on to the ball a little bit
too aggressive. He's got to take what the defense gives him and be more patient. Be more patient. He needs to overall. I mean, it's really two things. I hate to say this because they're contradictory, but I think you're totally right. He needs to be more patient in the bulk of the field. Be more patient. He's a little bit impatient. He's driving the ball downfield, is aggressively. Be a little bit more patient. When you get in the red zone, be a little less patient. Dial up your clock a little bit more. Get that ball out of your hands. Don't just, because you're not going to be able to just kind of wing it and run around. I mean, for every 5 times you try it, you're only going to be successful once. So I would say get your clock dialed up in the red zone and in the bulk of the field. Be a little bit more patient. Realize that the pressure's on the defense. Yeah. Take the check down every now and then. A little bit more. And just protect the football. I mean, let's be honest about this. The real big stat that we don't want to talk about because it's kind of dull is 8 turnovers in 5 games. Yeah. That's too many. If the Niners had 4 turnovers in 5 games, they would probably have a couple more wins. Instead, they've got 8 in 5 games. And we're staring at a gotta have it game on a Thursday night. Trevor, let us jump because everybody wants to jump in, and we've been going a little long, but we appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely. Just
have a great night.
I noticed.
Wait.
Sorry. I was just gonna say there was the last play of the game. George was open. He could have threw that ball sooner. I mean, he was in his line of sight, and then I think there was another play where Mason was open on one of his scrambles where he could have hit him for like a 8 or 9 yard gain.
Yeah.
Just want to throw that out there. Have a good night, guys. Appreciate it.
I agree. He's got to trust the underneath stuff a little bit more than he has. Appreciate you, man. Have a great night. Thanks for jumping in. We'll do it again. I like Trevor. Trevor's a good dude. All right, Kev, who's next?
Regulars. Marty.
What's up, Marty? How you been?
Going good, man. Going good, but not the football season.
I like that T-shirt, man. I like the Zeppelin T-shirt.
Oh, thanks, dude.
There you go. What's your favorite? Before we get into the Niners, give me your favorite Zeppelin. Favorite song from Zeppelin.
Oh man, there's too many.
I'll give you a couple of my favorites. I used to use on the radio for bumpers. When the Levee Breaks.
All right,
phenomenal. All of My Love is a tremendous open. And then I love when I first started on KMBR, the very first intro I had for my nighttime show was the In the Evening, which is a phenomenal intro, phenomenal beginning. Anyway, I'm sorry for my Zeppelin riff, but I saw this T-shirt. I had to go.
No, you're good. I must have to say right now, currently, I've been jamming the Immigrant song.
Yes, okay.
Just good. I just like the scream and the lyrics on it. So it's
nice. Where are you calling from, Marty? Where are you?
I am northeast of Cincinnati, Ohio.
Okay. Gotcha.
So, but no, man, I just wanted to call on here and say I really, I've been hearing people talk about the coaching and the scheme and all that stuff. I really don't think it's quite that. I think it's execution when it comes to the players. And if you look at the offense, the offensive yards, we're second, right? In the top five, we're last in offensive touchdowns. We have 12. So, and I think somebody just needs to make a play and wake us up. I think if we just make a big play, get some yak back, I think we could jump back into it, and the season could not be lost. So I think if it happens tomorrow, I think that somebody needs to make a play, and we need to score more touchdowns. We just need to execute.
Yeah, when it comes score to touchdowns, don't turn over the ball. That's the killers.
Yeah, that too. And I think the protection, and then everybody wants to look at Purdy as soon as he makes a mistake. But it's not even him, and I don't want to blame the offensive line. But I'm just saying, his arm will get hit, and he'll throw another interception, and that just gives everybody else just a reason to blame him or the coaching. And I just think that, if everybody steps up and does their job, I think we'll be okay. And I think,
look at the Niners. You've been watching the Niners for a number of years, right, Marty?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you remember fully the Jimmy Garoppolo era.
Yes.
With Jimmy, and I remember I used to ask Greg Cosell about this. Give me your critique on Jimmy, and he'd be like, he's just not a great late in the down thrower. And what he meant by it is just that, he can run Kyle's system and he can run Kyle's plays, but if the first read isn't there, it's really his footwork breaks down, his vision of the field breaks down, and he's just not a good late in the down thrower. And we all witnessed it. It's like, yeah, he could operate the system, but if his first read wasn't there, and all of a sudden he started to scan the field, he might make a big play, but he probably could turn it over as well. And so there was a lot of like, operate the play that Kyle calls and don't be a late in the down thrower. Then Brock takes over. And we've seen that Brock's got mobility that Jimmy didn't have. And Brock's got processing ability and accuracy and timing that Jimmy really never had. So now it's like, hey, we trust in Brock. And at first he's really, really good at getting the ball out of his hands and playing on time and in rhythm. And then this year his equation starts to bog down. Excuse me, his receivers aren't getting that much separation. The line's a little inconsistent. So he starts trying to run around and hold the ball a little bit more. I just think that Brock could, the same way Jimmy was not a good late in the down thrower. I think Brock is getting to a point now where he's getting to, be a late in the down kind of a guy instead of, being a little bit more all in on that first read or that, with the play design, it's meant to go here. Now it could be that the opposition's taking away his first read. It could be that he feels like the separation's not there and that he feels like it's a 50-50 ball and he just doesn't want to throw a 50-50 ball, especially if he's not going to be sacked. So I think he's held the ball, he's moved around, and we've seen him create some amazing plays out of it. But there's also, he sometimes will run into a turnover or a sack, and there's negative plays. And so there's that to contend with. I just think that I would like to see Brock maybe go with his first or second read a little bit more early on to try to establish a rhythm. And then if we get it deeper into the meat and potatoes of the game, the second half, and he has to make a play, and then, okay, now maybe move around a little bit. But I feel like his moving has helped them at times, but I think it's also kind of given them kind of a helter-skelter vibe at times. And like he didn't see or feel comfortable making that throw to Ayuk a couple games ago because that wasn't where Ayuk was supposed to be. And I just feel like, there's an awful lot of pressure on Purdy to make it all work when the receivers are not separating, the line's just kind of sporadic. The run game, he doesn't have McCaffrey. I don't know. It just seems like it's a lot of it's falling down on Brock. I think for the most part, he's doing a good job, but there are examples of him holding the ball too long and of negative things happening after he holds the ball too long. So what's the solution? I don't know that there is an actual solution other than, make more positive plays and avoid as many negative plays as possible. I mean, is that a solution or is that just kind of an overarching philosophy on how to play the position? You know what I mean? I don't know that it's a real solution, but that is the solution. Take better care of the football and keep making as many plays as you can.
And I think what you're saying is exactly, 100% correct. But I think also is Brock running around trying to make more plays because he's getting maladjusted to his first and second option being 50-50. And he's like, well, if I run around and maybe make a chance, maybe I can find, Juwan a little bit more open so he can get some yak or something else like that. Like, is he getting just used to his surroundings?
I just think that if you hold the ball and try to be a late in the down guy and salvage, the play because, man, there's not enough space or whatever, something's not right early in the down. I think the more you hold the ball, the more you're comfortable holding the ball. And then maybe there's a couple plays where you hold the ball when you shouldn't. And I think it's just kind of there. I mean, I asked him about the red zone yesterday, and he was like, yeah, I need to get better there. And he even referenced his clock. He's like, I need to get my clock better. Or I forget exactly the term that he used. Maybe it was timing. But he knows that he's slightly off in the red zone right now. And he needs to be more on point. And I think he'll do the mental reps to get himself there.
That's what I like about Brock. He knows when it's him, and he'll go ahead and take the weight. if he feels like he needs to. Or
He doesn't point fingers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Brock's good.
he wears it. And what I appreciate is, like, some guys wear it all the time. Like, it's my fault. It's my fault. Do they really mean it, or are they just kind of trying to, say it for effect? I felt like when I asked Brock about the red zone, and he's like, that's an area I really need to improve. I think he was being completely honest. I think he knows he needs to improve in the red zone, and I think he knows that some of the 49ers red zone struggles are on him. And I think it's just I think he's just not afraid to disclose it, and he's not afraid of challenging himself to get better at it. That's kind of my read on it.
I also don't think they're running the ball very well in the red zone. Like, I don't.
No, they're not.
I mean, you can put it on Brock, yeah, and Brock's never gonna not take blame for stuff. I feel like he's just like he's a great public speaker in that sense. Like, he's always saying the right thing on the podium. But the Niners, and I think Kyle and the Niners offensive line coach said the same thing. Is they're not running the ball like they used to in the red zone, and that's killer. And especially when you're fumbling inside the 10, that's going to kill your red zone statistics this early in the year. So they just need to get better. I think they really need to get better at running the ball, because that's what they do too, and that's what they need to get better at.
Well, especially this last game, he was averaging 6.2, 6.4 yards a carry. Yeah, he fumbled, but come on, if you're in the red zone, you got to punch it in. He's a big boy. He can take the damage. He's already,
the foot. How about the field goal on 4th and 1 in the second quarter?
Just punch
Run
it
the
in.
ball. You got a 230-pound back.
Exactly. You got the guys. Just hit it in.
Yeah.
Put you to work. Everybody just punch it in. Execute is what I think. I don't know.
That fumble was killer. If Mason doesn't fumble, the Niners win that game.
Yeah.
True.
No,
That's also why I guess Elijah Mitchell was the more trusted back last year.
Yeah, I guess we're seeing it come to life.
We're seeing why. Mason occasionally will fumble it. Mitchell never would. And that means a ton to NFL coaches.
Yeah.
And that is enough. People say, well, why is it that Mitchell was in front of Mason? And I would say, well, Mitchell never fumbles. And they would say, oh, yeah, but until you witness the fumbles, having a back that never fumbles sounds great when you just fumbled. But it doesn't sound that great when the guy that you have in there looks a little better and isn't fumbling. You know what I mean? So people were like, yeah, well, so what? Well, it doesn't matter that he doesn't fumble.
We just saw all of Jordan Mason's production from the Cardinals game. His great production is 6 yards a carry for however many carries he had. It all got negated from that fumble. Like, whatever the advanced statistics tell you about, like, what someone's EPA or points added is, his got completely nullified when he fumbles inside the 10. Like, any positive he created for you that day is completely nullified. So of course Kyle's thinking in his head, it's like, if I can get a back who just won't do that and will run for 4 a carry, maybe not 5 a carry, but 4 a carry, but won't lose the ball, I'll be better in the end. And that honestly might be true. I hate saying that because I love Jordan Mason, but in this situation, it definitely could have been better the other way around.
We know Kyle, sometimes he can get a little tight on situations like this, especially with a young player. You can just kind of like give up for a minute on him, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
But that's just the way Kyle is. Hey, before I go, guys, can I get a prediction from you? From both of you?
Ooh. You're muted, Dad. You're muted. You're muted. You're still muted. You're still muted.
Sorry about that. I had to cough there. Quack says muted. Larry is good. I'll say this. I like the Niners to win this game. I think it's going to be low scoring, but I'm a little nervous. Because I'm afraid that DK is going to eat Mooney Ward's lunch. I think DK is moving better than Mooney Ward is right now. But I like the Niners to win a low-scoring, hard-fought, dramatic game. I'll say 24-21 49ers.
Okay. I like that.
What's the spread?
3.5.
Yep. 24-21 49ers.
I like that. I'm not just saying this. I really do believe it. I don't usually bet on the Niners. If I was going to bet, I was going to take the Cardinals plus 7.5, but I don't bet against the Niners. I am betting on the Niners this week. I like them to cover. I like them in this spot. I think that they're gonna get up to play. You know that saying where people, I think he's gonna get up to play, which is fucking ridiculous. Because why is there? You see the balloons?
Yeah, what's up with that?
I don't know. I've never.
What's that about?
I just
The
did
balloons
this and a
straight
bunch
up
of
the line.
balloons.
I guess. I don't know.
That was crazy.
That balloon-
I was
What the hell was that?
What the fuck happened?
What was that?
I
Do
don't
you
know.
have
That
balloons
was
on the ceiling, or are those fake balloons?
No, it was fake
Was
balloons.
this like hand gesture? Did it like
Is
make
it your
go off?
birthday or something?
I did this and then it. I don't know. Anyways, I like the Niners 24-14. 24-14.
How come I can't do it?
I don't know.
Come on.
Damn, Kev with his lightsaber in the background, his balloons. Look
What'd
at
you say
that.
your score prediction was?
24-14. I like the Niners. I think they're going to run the ball, but I think they're going to score. Like I think they're going to actually use the play action and get a big gainer. Maybe Kittle gets a big gainer on a play action fake. Yeah.
Kev, is there a way we could play my Shanahan reel that you made?
Which
Or
one?
can we not play that?
What you got to be more
Shanahan
specific.
reel that you made.
About what? You got to be more specific. I've made
The one that you just made. Didn't you make one for me yesterday, Shanahan? Remember? I swore in it. You took out one of the swear words.
Oh, that? I think you're talking about like a Shanahan press conference. Yeah, I can play that.
You can't play that?
Yeah, I can play that.
Marty, you're going to love this. Here we go.
You gotta be more specific. Shanahan, they make stuff about him all the time. Yeah, let me share the screen here. Here.
Have you ever gone on a road trip with one of your boys and it's like all he does for the first 25 miles is bitch about his wife? You guys have 3 kids together. You've been married for 21 years. You're probably going to be married for another 21 years. Either leave her or shut up about her. I don't want to hear about it anymore. The same thing to all you Kyle Shanahan bashers. Either come up with a better coach or shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear your bitching anymore. Who do you prefer? Why don't we start the conversation there? Then all of a sudden, a lot of the he's got to go will quiet down because then you realize who you going to. They had a great coach that they didn't get along with. His name was Jim Harbaugh. It took them from when he left in 2014, after 2014, it took them years to find Shanahan, to get relevant again. They were not relevant under Tom Sula. They were not relevant under Chip Kelly. So I'm sorry, they've been relevant. And I think we're forgetting how bad things can get. Have you ever gone on a road? All right. I liked it. Marty, what'd you think? There was some swearing there. It got a little rough, but what'd you think?
No, I absolutely love it. I saw it actually earlier today on a short from your channel, I think. I saw it. Nice. And actually, you know what, Larry? I'm actually digging the new Angry Larry. The past, I think the past 2
Larry
years,
Larry's in an angry phase. He's in an angry phase right now.
I mean, I think it's the past 2 years. He's right. Like something's just not, clicking for some reason, and I feel like, a lot of this, we're signing these free agents, so now they're forced to play and we're not going to go with the rookie. And, I feel like, enough with the politics. Let's just do what's right for the 49ers,
Yeah, I mean, I don't, sorry if I don't give a crap about the tough conversation you're going to have with Jed over the bonus money you threw to Campbell. I don't care about that. I only care about one thing, and that's winning tomorrow night. And anything that's going to help me win tomorrow night, I'm all about. And anything that's going to get in the way of me winning tomorrow night, I'm eradicating from everything. So sorry if I don't care about the bonus money that Jed threw at some of these free agents. You know what I mean? It's like it's a sunk cost, as they say. Just go with your best players. That would be my message.
Yeah, this guy should win the ball. Should play the ball game.
Play the game. Marty, we're gonna jump, bud. Have a great night. Appreciate you getting in here. You got a final thought?
You know what? I'm gonna go 27-20 on my score prediction.
Nice.
Higher scoring.
Yeah, a little bit higher, but we're gonna, 3.5. We're gonna be okay there. And our kick, who we signed, what was his name? Matthew. He's
Matthew
gonna go
Wright.
Matthew Wright. Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Matthew Wright. Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna go 2-0, 27-20.
I like it. Matt, Marty, have a good night. Thanks for jumping in, and we'll be doing the call-in show on the regular. We'd love to see you.
All right, sounds good. Have a good one, guys.
There you go. Marty jumping in. All right, Kev, who's next? We go to Rich Gravy. We got 3 people hanging still.
It's Rich Gravy.
It's
What's
Rich
up,
Gravy
Rich
time.
How
I like
doing?
that Niner. I like that
49ers
Niner
gravy
jacket.
train. Let's go.
49ers gravy train in the house, man.
What is up? I
my-
love that starter. That's the old school starter.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm an old school kind of guy, Larry.
Rich, where are you? You in the Bay or are you somewhere else in the country?
Washington, D.C. right now.
Nice. That's one of my
Shout
favorite
out to
towns.
49er Empire, DMV. Every game, we're going hard for the Niners up here in D.C., man, representing, Washington, Baltimore, and the Virginia area. So
I love me some DC, man. One of my favorite restaurants I've ever been to is Old Ebbitt's Grill right there near the Capitol. You can have mussels, seafood, drinks, incredible spot. Old Ebbitt's Grill. Phenomenal spot. What's on your mind tonight, Rich? What did you think of obviously you can't be too happy with the start, but they go tomorrow night. How do you feel?
I'm looking forward to getting back right on the Seahawks, man. We got to go drink some Seahawk blood tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? This is how I'm feeling. We've been getting kicked around, man, by the dreads of the NFC West, the Rams, and then Arizona comes in and breaks the foot off in us at home. It's like we got to. This is a must-win game. I don't care what they say. It's a must-win game. We have to have it tomorrow. I'm wearing the Ronnie Lott because me and my friends, we were talking about what happened to us. We used to be so physical. We were a bully. Dre Greenlaw being out, having no Jimmy Ward, none of these guys who used to like knock people unconscious on the field. We got these guys that it just feel like everybody's soft. Connor ran wild. In the second
in the fourth
half.
quarter, I mean, he just owned the line. I mean, he just did what he wanted to do. It was sad. I had a hard time watching it.
It was hard to watch. It was hard to stomach as a Niners fan. I'm used to woo hits, Patrick Willis, knock you unconscious on the field, Dante Whitner. We have lost it, man. We have really lost it, bro. We have fallen so far. The Javon Hargrave was terrible. They might as well have paid Buckner because they traded Buckner for a pick to turn to Kinlaw. Kinlaw was terrible. He was a bust. I mean, I just don't know what they're doing sometimes. The Devontae Campbell, he is washed. Get him off the freaking field. Like, why is it that it takes Shanahan and these people so long to make this adjustment? How many games?
And not only that, it's like, why does it take so long to see what we can all see in like 5 plays?
Dude, the guy is washed.
Totally washed.
He had cement shoes on when Kyler Murray scooted past him for a 53-yard touchdown. I'm like, these slow old players, get them out of here. The other guy, you guys talked about Campbell, so I don't want to beat that dead horse to death. Get him off the field. D. Winters, anybody. Jalen Graham, I don't care. Bethune. But what about Isaac Yadam? The other caller called in and tried to go in on my guy Mooney. Mooney has not had a great season, but he's not being used right. Mooney is a press man corner. He said he wants to cover the best receiver.
It's gonna be a big week for him.
This should be the week.
They need him against DK.
Metcalf, one-on-one. That's what we brought him here.
We're gonna learn about Mooney this week.
Dude, they got to let Mooney play and do what he does. Let him cover Metcalf all over the field.
I agree.
He was an all-pro. He had 20 pass deflections last year and a pick 6. Like, he doesn't even look like the same player. And
no, I agree. That's a key point too. Let Mooney travel with DK because that's where. And here's the thing: sometimes it's just like anything else. Sometimes you have confidence against somebody, and sometimes you have no confidence against somebody. DK has no confidence against Mooney, and Mooney has tons of confidence against DK. You got to take advantage of that.
He's been beating him up ever since he put on the Niner jersey.
Yep.
DK has get owned by Ward every time they play. So I'm like, if we let DK Metcalf get on Isaac Yadam, who has been terrible.
That's a PI.
He's Isaiah Oliver all over again.
He's too long.
It cost us games.
He's too leggy. You can't be leggy and long like that. You have to be able to turn and run and mirror a receiver. That receiver knows where he's going, and you don't know where he's going. So you have to be able to have unbelievable reactions and smooth and loose hips and the ability to turn and run and balance. And I mean, it's just like I like Yadam. He makes some smart plays. Like he'll punch the ball out. He makes some heady veteran plays, but he needs to be used less because he doesn't have the ability to mirror against these great athletes. So they need, whenever Ambry gets healthy, they got to get him back out there, or they got to get Renard. I would go with Renardo Green. I talked to Renardo the other day in the locker room. Renardo's confident, man, and he can cover better than Yadam.
I'm not completely.
I would take Ronaldo Green. Luter had an interception in that preseason game. Hey, anybody besides Yadam, it's the biggest not secret in the league that Yadam is a bum. Anytime somebody needs a catch, they go to Yadam. 4th and 5 in the fourth quarter. We needed one stop to win the freaking game. Kyler Murray gets blitzed. They throw it at Yadam. First down. Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean, I'm just like, God, can we get these bums off the field?
Well, here's the challenge, Rich, and this is why it's really tough. Because if you take veterans like this off the field, you lose them. So if you're done with Campbell, if you're done with Yadam, then take him off the field. I think right now the reason they haven't, I think they're worried about losing those guys, and so they want to give them a full go. But come on, man, they have to be seeing what we're seeing, which is those guys can't mirror.
Those guys are terrible. Larry, they put in Ambry Thomas for Oliver last year. The defense instantly got better. I guarantee you, they give Ronaldo Green give him a game.
Yes.
No worse than Isaac Yadam is doing right now. He just really can't. Bum.
I'm against
up there beating him for another first down. Even on the pass breakup that he had last, it was pass interference he's holding. He's not confident. He's slow. He can't run. At corner, you can't be slow on the corner.
No.
I'm not. I'm okay. I'm kind of against both of you in this. Like, I agree. I want to see Renardo Green, but I don't think Yadam is like complete trash. Like, I don't think he's Devondre.
But you agree that Renardo should play over Yadam,
right?
Yeah. Well, then we're not. You don't disagree. We're all in agreement.
No, I'm just saying
Renardo Green should play over Yadam.
I think Devondre Campbell is like very bad. I think Yadam is a serviceable corner who's gotten beat a few times and maybe has looked bad on TV. Like
Campbell's worse than Yadam. I think we all agree on that.
I would agree with that, Kev. Campbell is way worse than Yadam. But Yadam, look at what he's giving up. I wish Larry would pull out the stats. Yadam is giving up like over 100 quarterback rating. He's not good. So
yeah, I mean, Kev probably has the Yadam numbers.
It's 115.9.
Come on,
115.9.
And
Come on.
Your job if you're giving up 115.9 on the corner. Like,
right. Come on.
Let's check Travarius Ward. Let's check Travarius.
And we're not talking about 1 week. It's almost freaking Halloween.
Travarius Ward is 99.5. So it's better.
I mean, seriously, here's my rule. If I got to make a roster decision, get this. I want to make the roster decision before I'm fucking mathematically eliminated.
Eliminated from the playoffs.
Let's make whatever decisions and adjustments we're going to make. How about this? Before we're fucking eliminated from the playoffs. How about that? Fuck. It's frustrating.
It is. It's super
Angry
frustrating.
Larry.
Angry Rich. Because I've been pissed, man.
It's tough.
Washington Redskins are 4-1.
By the way, how good does Daniels look?
Woodshed. 41-14. I watched it.
I know.
They come in our house and beat us.
How good is Jaden Daniels?
Man, Jaden Daniels is great. Ayuk, he said, only where I want to go is Washington with Jaden Daniels, or I'm staying with San Francisco. Because we tried to send him to New England. We tried to send him to Pittsburgh. He wouldn't go. He's smart. He's where he wants to be at with a good quarterback.
I got to take that back, man. I ripped that this summer. I'm like, dude, you want to play with Jaden Daniels, some rookie quarterback? Dude, Jaden Daniels is the truth. Now, I like Jaden Daniels in the draft. The quarterbacks I liked were Penix and Daniels. The quarterbacks I didn't like were May, Nix, and Caleb. And I'll stand by that. I like Penix and I like Caleb. The other guys I don't like. But
can we touch?
I didn't think Caleb was going to be this. I didn't think Daniels was going to be this good. My goodness, he's completing almost 85% of his passes.
He's the best quarterback in the league by EPA.
He may win the MVP.
Yeah, he looks great.
He's amazing.
Now, I want to touch on the offense for a second, man.
Yeah.
Deebo Samuel, that's my guy. What
Mhm.
happened to I saw the Philadelphia game. Everybody saw that game here, right?
Yeah, he looked great.
He had the 3 touchdowns, the tunnel screens.
Tunnel screen, he was gone.
Where is this? Like Shanahan, no creativity. Where are the short crossing routes? They're not doing what the formula, the bread and butter, the identity of this team. We ran the ball, we play action, we bootlegged off the play action, and we got Brock moving on the pocket, and we threw crossing patterns and in routes to IU. Like, what happened to this team's identity? It's like,
Completely different.
okay, Christian McCaffrey's not there, but damn, Mason is leading the league. Looks like baby beast mode. He looks like Marshawn Lynch. There's no reason that we are Kittle, Ayuk, and Debo. We can't score. Jennings just had 11 for 175 and 3 touchdowns. You telling me that why is he not getting targets in the red zone more often if we're having such red zone problems? Kittle had caught a catch in the Patriots over 3 people. Give him the ball some more in the red zone, maybe. You know, it's
Where's the play action?
Yeah, where's
It's
the
just
play
gone.
action?
That's
What
the weirdest
happened
thing.
to the play action passing? Brock Purdy has been trying his hardest to do this drop back passing game. Shanahan, it's terrible. We're not built for it. Colton McKivitz can barely block. He's a turnstile at right tackle. I would rather see, what's the boy, Burford, anybody out there than Colton McKivitz. He's not good.
Believe me, Burford was getting practice reps at tackle the last couple of weeks. If
I heard
they
about
want to
that.
go with McKivitz, they want to stay with McKivitz. But if McKivitz struggles, you're going to see Burford.
Bro, he has not been good. I love Pooney. Pooney's looked good.
Pooney is
But
good.
the yards after the catch, a caller earlier talked about, we used to be top in the league in yards after the catch. That's Deebo Samuel. How many targets did Deebo get last game? I would have thought he didn't even play. If I didn't watch the game myself, I would have thought he didn't play. I think he
Seriously, he got
catch
one
for 11
early.
yards.
He got one early, and I don't know that I saw him get another one the rest of the day. You know, and his whole thing is, you know, I think he's maybe lost his top gear as far as speed because he was in good shape this summer. He looked good in practice. He had a nice camp, and he just doesn't. He's doing absolutely nothing right now.
Listen to this.
but
Listen to this. Brock Purdy off of play action is completing at 78.6%, 347 yards, 12.4 yards per attempt. That's pretty.
And we don't use play action anymore.
Yeah,
don't use play action. Why would you want a quarterback that completes close to 80%? That ain't helping anybody.
17% of the time.
Are you serious? He's 78% completion percentage off play action, and they're not using play action.
33 dropbacks. 33 dropbacks at into play action. 78%, 78.6%, 12.4 yards per attempt. They only call it on They only call it on 17.6% of his dropbacks.
17.6% of his drop.
His passer rating is 130.2.
Larry, please,
130.2.
at the next interview with Shanahan, ask him what happened to the play action passing, bro. What
Yeah,
happened?
we're gonna have to drill down on that this week for sure.
My God, man,
It needs to be asked.
Man, the whole offense, you looked great. Brock Purdy looked great last year. He's looking terrible this year. You got him running around like a goose with his head cut off. What is that all about?
I think my theory on why they don't do play action pass more is because in that Eagle game when he got hurt, the Eagles kind of put on film that what it looks like when you just don't honor the play action fake. And if you have a team that's not going to honor the play action fake and you're going to carry out that fake, you're essentially giving them a second and a half to get to your quarterback that you shouldn't be giving them if they're not going to honor that fake. So if you run play action 5 times and nobody, bites on the play action fake at all, it's almost like the only way the play action is going to work is if the Niners pound the run, establish it fully, and then play action off of it in some key
downs. Run first team to be,
yeah.
I mean, Mason is averaging 6 yards a carry. He only got 14 carries, Larry. I don't understand.
Well, not only that, worse than that, Rich, in the pregame, Tim Ryan told us that he's like, yeah, Mason's going to get 20 carries plus. 20? He didn't even get 15. He got 14 carries.
Well, honestly, I think that there's some, because before that week, we were talking about how he was on pace for 375 carries, which would have been, or like 383 carries, which would have been 75 carries more than the franchise record. I'm not going to say that Kyle Shanahan's listening to us, but I'm sure that they saw what the numbers were going at, and they're probably like, I don't know when CMC's coming back. We can't have Mason getting all these touches, and they kind of went away from the run when they definitely should have been running the ball against Arizona. Definitely should have been running the ball. And it's because they don't trust Garendo. They can't give Garendo more than 3 or 4 carries a game, and they don't want to use Patrick Taylor.
Garendo, you know, I mean, I'm a running back. If he's a running back, then I'm a running back. You know, if he's a running back, then Kev's a running back. I mean,
Debo's not running the ball well either, though. That's the other problem.
Look,
no, Debo's got 15 carries for 35 yards.
On those Texas routes, the routes that McCaffrey used to get out of the backfield. Okay, Mason is not the catcher out of the backfield that McCaffrey once was. Can we get a couple Debo screens out of the backfield, or maybe some Texas routes for Debo out of the backfield?
Let's get a linebacker on Debo.
How you have a guy, you pay him $24 million a year, and you don't target him, you throw him one catch, and then that's it. And then you wonder why your yards after the catch are down when he's been the yak king since he came in. If he's not that anymore, let us see it. But if you
there's also I like Debo in the end arounds, but I like it to the wide side of the field, not the short side of the field. It seems like I've seen it a couple times where they're running it to the short side of the field. There's not enough room there. And then the other thing, it seems like in the past when they got him on an end around, that when he got the ball in his hands, he was kind of turning the corner and rolling downhill. It seems like when he's getting the ball in these end arounds, his body position is very parallel to the line of scrimmage, and he winds up looking like he's hunting like it's a student body right, and he's hunting for that one cutback lane. It's like it's supposed to be an end around where you're sprinting and more of an angle where it's like his angle's wrong. He's the angle that he's running at is parallel to the line of scrimmage, and he's not getting north and south at all on those plays. So it's like I like Debo Samuel with 3 steps of momentum going north and south. But going east and west, I don't like him nearly as much, and I think the numbers reflect that he's not as good in those situations.
Yeah, that tunnel screen that he threw against the Eagles, since he played the Eagles, I haven't seen that play ran. And that was one of our bread and butter plays. I play Madden, and if I want to get Debo a catch, tunnel screen to Debo, jailbreak screen to Debo, and he's up the field for 80, 90 yards. I mean, he's still doing it on the Madden, so I don't know if he's not the same player anymore or what, but I would like to at least see the ball in Debo's hand more than one time. He's the guy who usually takes over the game for us. I was happy to see that Ayuk, the $30 million man, actually could still play a little bit because he had 150, but it wasn't enough.
Every week.
It wasn't enough.
No, it wasn't enough. And they need a big performance out of him again tomorrow night. Rich, we got to jump because we got to squeeze in 2 more. But
one thing.
Oh, go ahead, Kev.
Adding to this play action thing.
Yeah.
Among qualifying quarterbacks this year, Brock Purdy, his play action rate is out of the 36 qualifying quarterbacks, his play action rate is 32nd, meaning that they're 32nd out of the 36 quarterbacks in terms of rate.
So that's how little
play action. That's how little they're running play action. It's 32nd out of 36 quarterbacks.
Well, that's worthy of a question for Shanahan on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Would
when your quarterback is completing 78% on play action, why are you doing it the least amount in the league?
Yeah, that's the question right there. That's the question right there, Rich. You're going to hear that one next week.
All right, Larry.
Rich, we got to jump. Good to see you. Thanks for checking in from DC. We're going to do regular call-in shows. Don't be a stranger.
Subscribe. Come and take a ride on the 49ers Gravy Train YouTube channel.
49ers Gravy Train YouTube channel.
Hey, maybe we ought to stream together.
I'd love it.
Let's do this. We'll, Kev, how do we get a hold of Rich Gravy?
You can email me at 49ersgravytrain@gmail.com.
Sounds good.
Write it down, Kev. Rich, we'll do it. We're going to stream together, bud. Have a good night.
I look forward to it, Larry. You guys are the best.
Thanks, man. Peace. All right. That's cool. All right, last 2. Then we're jetting. Ryan Crowley's in the house. What's up, Ryan? Kyle, you're going to be our cleanup hitter. Ryan's making pizza in Vegas.
I got to make pizza, man. I haven't been on in a while. How you been?
Oh man, it's been great. You know, I think we had you on a Saturday, and you were making a bunch of pizzas on a Saturday.
I just distributed them all today. I sold them to Venetian.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, I distribute to a lot of the casinos on the strip. So, how you guys doing?
Hey, we're doing great, man. What kind of pizza are you making right now?
I got chicken parm pizza.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I listen to your show a lot while I'm working. So it's pretty important. I agree with a lot about what you say. It's just, especially in the moment, I have a lot more to say, but I can never call in whenever I feel like it.
That's all right.
I
Can you throw that in the air and catch it?
Yeah. I'll do that in the next one.
All right. I got to see that.
I really hate a Debo-centric offense. I just don't. When he was gone and we were playing the Vikings, we just looked so much better. It was everything about it was so much nicer. I mean, and obviously we're lacking speed and everything. I hate when we're so Debo-centric. I don't know if you remember. I think he's not a great influence because again, I live Vegas now, but like during the whole Super Bowl, he was in the strip clubs every fucking night. Like, so I mean, it's just not.
Is that confirmed? Do we know that for sure?
I know a lot of the people out here, so yeah, I can confirm it. But I mean, that's not really a good look if you want to, if you're in the Super Bowl. If you can't be at the strip club at 5 o'clock in the morning with a bunch of other wide receivers chilling and not paying attention, and not pre-gaming, especially with all the other nonsense. But I think Kyle is just so overwhelmed because I don't think people. I think the important thing in the offseason is I don't really care about this game this week. I've been pissed off so much about it. I think we have to get Salah back. And I want to make this point because I don't even think Patrick Mahomes, aside from the reps seeming to help him out in the Super Bowl, I don't think he wins one Super Bowl without Spagnuolo. I don't think, it's always a defensive play that gets them through the playoffs. I think his numbers are down through the playoffs and Super Bowls. He's not that, he's not that guy. And then when you look at the Patriots, it seemed like they always won a Super Bowl when they got the dickhead, what's his name?
Belichick?
The offensive coordinator back. To run their offense.
McDaniels?
Yeah, it seems like every year our whole defensive staff and offensive staff gets poached. And then Kyle's got to rebuild it again from the ground up. I don't think people are realizing how important it is to have a stable person on defense. Right? We had Salah. Then we had D'Amico, and D'Amico was, learning in progress for the first couple of weeks. He wasn't that good. There was issues. There was miscommunications, and then we had, what's his face? We didn't seem to have any good type of communication at all. What the hell's his name from Carolina? And now we got another first-year guy,
Steve Wilkes.
Now we have another first-year guy, and I feel like Kyle is teaching the coaches more than coaching the players. And then you can kind of see it in his sporadic play calling. He's just overthinking everything because he's got his hands in everything, and he's also forced to because there's so much. Mike McDaniels left, and then this guy left, and then I think Gary Kubiak's kid left, and it's just like any type of foundational piece that he has is always gone. So even if Sorensen was a hell of a coach, he'd be gone next year too. And I think that's why the Kansas City defense is so great now, not because they have great players, but because they've been in the same system. And they all understand each other, where they're going, how they're playing, so they can play as a unit. We don't have.
It's funny you said this because I think Kyle, if you asked him, I think he would love to have a special teams coach that enabled him to never think about special teams, and a defensive coordinator who was so independent that he could just do everything. Kyle wouldn't even have to watch him. Like a Wade Phillips or somebody who's like an old head, maybe Fangio. I mean, I know they love their wide nine, but I just think that the more I'm around Shanahan, the more I think he doesn't want to be involved. He wants to just coach offense and have a defensive czar. And he offered the defensive coordinator job to Belichick, and Belichick turned it down. I would have loved to have known what the Niners were going to offer him money-wise, because there's no cap on that. You can pay him whatever you want. But yeah, I think that I don't think that Kyle, even though he's been complimentary of Sorensen, I don't think he wants a defensive coordinator that he has to hold his hand. I think he'd rather focus only on offense.
It seems like his offensive play calls, he's trying to do too many kill shots because he's like, fuck, I got to throw that defensive coordinator back out there, so I need to score a shitload of points, and it just doesn't happen because it's forcing. So I think if we can get Salah back, he's not going to get another head coaching job for the next 5, 6, 7 years, even if he throws it, just like Spagnuolo. Spagnuolo had his head coaching job in St. Louis. It was a shit show, similar to Salah. So I think if we can get him back, I think in the next 5 to 7 years, we could really go on a run because Kyle doesn't have to worry about the defense. Saleh's got a great defense in the Jets, and he's got blindsided by Aaron Rodgers or whatever, whatever it may be. But I think this.
I think you're right. I think what the right move might be is to go to Robert and say, hey, we'd like you to come back as the defensive coordinator. I don't think he's going to do it this year, but next year.
Yeah.
We want you to come back, but we also want continuity. How about we'll sign you to a good money deal, but you commit to us for 5 years.
Yeah.
And let's I'll stay out of your room. You'll be the defensive head coach, and give me 5 years, and let's have some continuity and win a couple rings.
I feel like he's running around coaching coaches too much, and you can see he's getting old. He looks like he's getting old. He looks like he's the president of the United States. Like he looks like he's aged in the past 5 years.
Shanahan's aging terribly. Yeah.
I think it's just because
it's not terribly. He's not like ugly.
Well, no, but I mean, look at him. Look at his face compared to he is aging like a president. I mean, look at look at the press conference picture of Kyle Shanahan, and look at him today.
Yeah, it's not.
He's weathered and beaten down. He was a fresh face, and he looked like you, Kev. Now he looks like me.
Yeah, it seems like every year it's just like half this. Mike McDaniel's gone, but even Mike McDaniel's not doing too good on his own. Even though he had to or whatever, and he's got this amazing offense. But I feel like some continuity on defense will lead, because I really feel like he's coaching the defense as well.
By the way, McDaniel, I think Mike McDaniel might be averaging. I think the Dolphins might be averaging like the lowest point total in the whole league. I think they're scoring like 10 points a game.
And he just got a quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, it tells you how important the quarterback is.
Kyle didn't have a quarterback either until he got Brock.
Yeah.
We had Jimmy. Jimmy was okay, and then so he made it work.
No, I hear you.
I feel like he's got too much on him. He keeps losing his right hand man, and then it's just like panic. And then obviously that leads to like shitty fucking picks, like what's his face from the Green Bay Packers that we just got. And then he's just scared to play. He's coaching scared right now. And I don't like it.
GSU for life one says, Larry, you're just old. All right. That's enough. I ain't taking that on my show. Hey, Robbie, have a great night, man. Appreciate you jumping into Vegas. What's the name of your pizza place? So if we're ever down in Vegas, we can go down there.
It's called IDK Pizza. It's out on Eastern and Windmill.
What's it called again?
IDK. Like, I don't know.
Oh,
IDK.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we're going to open a sports bar soon. So when you ask your girlfriend where she wants to go to eat, what does she say?
I don't know.
Take her there.
Love it.
Rod, have a great night, man. Appreciate you, brother. There you go. Guy's making pizza. He's hustling. I like that. Let's finish with Kyle McKiernan.
Is it the
What's
pizza?
up?
What makes you laugh? Is it the pizza or is it Kevin? Jeez.
What happened to my double decker?
What?
I can't go, I can't go double decker without eliminating Kyle.
What's double decker?
The format.
You have been eliminated. You are.
There we go.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. Make me the size of a dime. Okay.
Can we make
what's
it
up,
bigger?
Kyle? How you doing, Kyle?
Okay. Hey, what's up, guys? Dude, first and foremost, sitting with you guys, your family, last season.
Yeah. We're coming back. We're doing that in a few.
Against the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Dude, Sam Darnold. I remember I sat with your family, Kev Mo, you came over there. I know you have 4 kids, so brothers and sisters, you guys are there. I was like, I'm going to get up. I sat at the bar. I remember Sam Darnold threw a toss, and I looked over my left shoulder at you, Larry, and I was like, do you see that? And it was so awkward and wrong. And you're like, yeah, that's not okay. Here we are now. No, I'm serious. Now here we are now, and like, look at them. They're undefeated. But check this out. So I buy Larry Pig in a Pickle. I'm at Pig in a Pickle.
Yes. Look at that. That's a good looking shirt on you.
Oh, yeah, it is. Larry's used to so we stand toe to toe.
So
I'm 6'2".
You're 6'2", yeah. And I'm 6'2".
I'm 187. The problem is Larry's used to 6'2", like 297. So my wife, dude, I got these American made shirts. I'm like, hey, like it looked like a softball bag, like of just trash on me. I'm like,
It's too loose.
Oh my god! It looked like I was wearing a potato.
What size
sack on
shirt
me.
did you? What size shirt did you order? XL.
You handed it to me.
Oh,
you
it
probably
might
I
have been a
bought you a
2X.
bag of chips, and then you
Might
were
have
like,
been
"Here, man,
2X.
here, bro." You handed me the shirt, and it was like I was wearing a bag of potato chips. So
Did you get it tailored?
so I have this fitted shirt, and my wife's mother-in-law. I'm like, "Hey, cut this off his shirt and put it on me." So it's like fitted. Dude, I wore it for 5 days. I'm like, all right, dude, you stink. Like, just take this off. So I wore it for like 5 days. Anyways, yeah, dude. So your old shirt thrown away, the logo I kept.
Kyle,
like
we're gonna do another meetup in a few weeks.
Yeah, we're doing another meet and greet.
Yeah, from Chico. Aaron Rodgers is done. He's my bro from high school, but he's done. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going back to Pig in a Pickle during the bye week.
Oh, cool.
So it's about three, 4
2
weeks from now. I don't know if you can make it down, but we'll be talking about it.
Okay, so all right, I got a bunch of notes, but I know you guys want to close it out. Okay, Larry, you're gonna love this. I live 2 blocks from the campus. The Scouts, they're here. Texas A&M, my buddy, they just picked him off. We say
Who's that?
Ronnie
Wait,
Bell.
what are we talking about?
Okay, so we say Ronnie.
You're in Chico, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
So Ronnie Bell, whatever. My buddy, his son, Devin Bell. 3 scouts were here, 2 blocks away. All of them done. We want this guy. So Texas A&M just got Devin Bell. He's like, Dad, sorry, man, I'm going to Texas A&M. He's like, what are you telling me? He's like, no, dude, I don't want to make you nervous. So the scouts were here, literally picked him off. I was like, so what? He showed me all this video, and I was like, okay, like, damn, right on. I'm like, so he's safety and corner, and I was kind of thinking about
He's going to go play for A&M.
Yeah,
I'm an A&M fan. I don't know if I even know that, but I root for A&M.
Yeah. So he is.
Oh, okay.
And I was kind of thinking about you, and I was like, do you think, like, if they were to convert him into somebody like, or not somebody else, but like another position, like, what do you think? What do you think he's like? Probably he's like a full defensive guy, but
what's his size?
Dude, he's me. So he thinks wide receiver, but I'm 6'2", 187, and he's 6'2", 185. So like we're the same person. So I mean, freshman.
Hopefully with a lot more athleticism than you.
Oh, I hope.
You guys are literally the same person, or what are you trying to say here? What's going on?
Otherwise, man, when A&M fans get to look at this guy, they're gonna be like, "Get this guy out of here."
Yeah, no, but no, it was unbelievable. So like the Texas A&M scouts were literally 2 blocks from my house, like bombed out, done. This guy's it. We want him. And I was like, oh, and this is sad because it was like, what? I mean, you guys haven't done a call-in show in 6 weeks, 8 weeks. It's been a while.
It's been longer.
Yeah. So I was like talking to my buddy. I'm like, he's like, my son's going to Texas A&M. I cried. Like, he's out. I'm like, I was like, and of course, Larry and Kevin, they're Kansas City. Like, I'm just like, okay, whatever.
The Chief fans.
I was like, I'm gonna talk to him. So yeah, and like he's like, have you talked to him? I'm like, they haven't had their call-in show in forever. So but yeah, Devin.
We stopped having the call-in show
Ball.
just because Kev was finishing up college.
Yeah,
and then Kev went to Europe for a while with his girl, and then we took on Paulie Mack. We took on Paulie Mack.
Yeah,
on Wednesday nights.
Yeah. So Texas A&M, Devin Ball, he's a safety corner. Again, I asked him, I'm like,
I'll look for him.
They convert him. He's like, I think they might make him a wide receiver, but I got a bunch of notes here, but I don't care. I love you guys' show. I've been following since the start. Larry,
Yes.
Dude, get that thing, get that mug going here. I know Chase goes like this a little bit. When you hit 50, just have a brewski like this. You know what? 50K is so nice.
Where are we on the 50K? Let me see where we're
They're
at.
where
By
you
the way,
know.
everybody hit like and subscribe. We got almost 1,500 people watching this thing at different times tonight. I don't have my phone.
Kevin, you have no part of it, by the way, either.
Yeah, I would say we're closing in
Yeah, I
on
won't.
50,000. We're closing in on 50,000 subs. So everybody, if you've yet to hit like and
49,178.
subscribe, hit like and subscribe. If you hit subscribe, every time we go live, you'll get a little notification. Hey, we're going live. And you don't have to miss any of it. So help us get to 50,000 subs. We should get there probably within the next couple weeks.
Cool. Hey, write that down on a notepad. Devin Bell. He's a defensive guy. His dad thinks he might get moved to offense, wide receiver. I have no idea, but I know that's a team you like, and so it'd be interesting.
Yes, I will.
That's like
Eric Schultz
like,
just
like
hit
my backyard,
unsubscribed.
yeah, if you like and subscribe, you'll hear about Texas A&M football because the scouts were literally in my backyard.
Oh man!
So, hell yeah, man.
Well, Kyle, thanks for jumping in. We're going to cut it because I told Kev we're going to go an hour and we're closing in on 2 hours. And I got a big day tomorrow. Niners play. Give me your prediction on the game, though.
Man, I don't know. I think it's 50-50. I think it's going to be a big time media uproar, or we're going to win by like 3 or something. I don't know, with the kicker and all that. So I don't know. I'll just leave it at that, guys. I have no idea. It's gonna be a weird one. So.
Well, hey man, Kyle, good to see you, man, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon. And thanks for jumping in. We appreciate you.
Yeah. See you guys. Have a good night. Bye.
There you go. The great Kyle McKiernan.
We do have
in.
one more caller.
Oh, we do?
We do. We may have to limit it to him to 1 minute.
Hey,
Gary Lamb.
I'm getting out of
Gary
here.
Lamb is prone to talking.
Gary Lamb.
I thought you got...
And that is Gary Lamb. That's not a black guy. That is not a black guy.
Okay, I know you guys got to go. I thought you guys weren't on because of me, but I'm gonna tell you what's killing me, Larry and Kevin, is I think we lost at least this early season in the off season. We saw the baloney coming. We knew you're not going to have even a top-notch player like Nick Bosa is not going to be ready in the offseason. But it wasn't just Ayuk. It was CMC. It's Trent Williams, and it's killing our chemistry. We got a lot of blame on Kyle Shanahan, but you can't coach guys at 8 in camp. And to a simple, basic play like the fumble to Mason, run left was money, but guess what? Trent Williams ain't in shape. And okay, the guy who fumbles is a guy that you got to take care of that, but there is some blame because run left in the red zone without CMC should be money. All right. And here's my last take. As much as we're blaming Kyle Shanahan, which he deserves some credit, damn it, all the guys he got paid need to have his damn back so you could make moves like, play the young guys, get in Malik Mustafa, get in Ronaldo Green, get in Winters, because you know what? We don't have Steve Wilkes because the guys like the best players on our team, like Fred Warner and Nick Bosa, they wanted to go this old style and we rushed for and all that shit. Well, cool. You got what you wanted. Now I don't want to hear your problems. I want to hear you leading the young guys. If the old guys don't play, police the damn team. Have your damn coaches back because you got your asses paid. And that goes for Brock Purdy too. He hasn't got Brock paid yet. But you know what? There was a lot of draft capital that went into Trey Lance. There was Sam Darnold was on a team last year. He's coming off a fucking destroyed elbow. Never a question that Brock was a man. So all these motherfuckers have his back. You all fucked up in the fourth quarter. Have your coaches back. Rally up. Kick some Seahawk ass on Thursday. And let's go to save this damn season. Because we deserve a title, Larry. The fans deserve it. We fucking deserve it. We told them, get this shit together. And you know what? Prague Marate was not going to pay these guys. Neither was the York. So Kyle put his shit on the line. So, right, you know what I'm talking about? We know damn well Prague Marate ain't going to pay him. He's in Europe coaching a fucking, whatever the fuck he's doing. Whatever the hell bullshit he's doing. Whatever the hell he does, he ain't done it right for decades. All right? We don't want Super Mario Plumber, that Oregon dumbass. We can't get rid of, even Harbaugh. At least we don't have guys that go to jail anymore. So Kyle Shanahan is manna from heaven. He ain't perfect. neither am I, neither are you, Larry. But damn it, have this guy's back and let's go. See you next time, guys.
Gary Lamb has spoken.
Gary Lamb sums up everything in the Niners. He talks about everything related to Niners ever in one breath. I don't know how he does it. It's everything.
That's Gary freaking Lamb. There he is. Gary, good to see you again.
Hey, yo, fellas. Hey, it's good to see you guys together. Bang, bang, Niner game. I'm a fucking bored. I don't want to have another losing season, Larry. I have Kyle's back. Fuck it. Win, lose, or draw. Let's go. I don't trust the Yorks. The Yorks are going to fuck it up. So let's go. It's the best we got. Let's go.
There we go. That's Gary Lamb, ladies and gentlemen. Gary Lamb. All right. Let's read some of the starred chats. Andrew H says, I'd like to see the 49ers start working in Tanner Mordecai. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. Joey says, Larry, Kev, love y'all's content. Can we talk about the wide nine? Methinks, number one, we don't have the personnel to make it work. Number two, the league seems to have learned how to combat it. Well, I will say this. You do need guys who can get up the field and rush the passer. And guys who can, you need depth. It's basically a get up the field, rush the passer kind of a front. So you definitely want to have guys who can play off the bench and play, 15, 20 snaps. I mean, you've got to have depth. If you're going to play the wide nine and go and hunt the quarterback, you're going to have to rotate guys through, maybe even more so than normal. Depth is at a premium. Their depth is a little bit lacking.
I'd also add that it's not necessarily the best. It's a great scheme to rush the passer, but it's not the greatest scheme to stop the run. So you just got to have really good linebackers. I mean, I think you made this point too. You got to have good linebackers to cover, and they have Fred, but they don't have Dre. So I think you're seeing a little bit of that deterioration because you're missing Dre.
Whale and Wasp says, get Tatum Bethune in the game. He's got a nose for the ball. I kind of agree. Nightmare on any street. 49ers couldn't score a point in the second half against a weak Cardinals defense. I'm not confident in shit, Larry's saying. Okay. Thank you. We got this one from Lawless Light. Because can CMC, Greenlaw, and Ricky Pearsall make a big change? Greenlaw's not coming back until December. CMC may never be back. And Ricky probably is a couple weeks off. I think Ricky can help them in the red zone for sure. Obviously, CMC can help. Greenlaw's a stud. We know if he's healthy, he'll be incredible. But I wouldn't bank on him until late this year. Susan says, I'm fine with Larry. Fire Shanahan and hire who? Or I'm with Larry. Fire Shanahan and hire who? I'd rather hang on to Shanny too long than cut him too early. Hashtag pig in a pickle. Thank you, Susan. Mark Lopez says, Larry, in my neighborhood, we got a lot of mice. A lot of fat old cats not doing their job. 49ers got a lot of fat cats on their roster. Old, overpaid, too comfortable. Get some young, hungry dogs out there.
It's good meta analogy.
I like that. Diami Drums says, Kev, balloons are triggered by FaceTime gestures. So what did that mean? What was your... I don't get it.
I don't know. Because I did this. And then it
did birthdays.
Know. Yeah, it was weird.
It says Larry, no yak this year. Fourth quarter losses, bad red zone, all who wants it more issues. Yeah, maybe the Niners have eliminated the desire of some of their players because they've got so many older guys who have gotten extensions. Brandon Simmons, Larry, that show with Rich Gravy is going to be fire. Yeah, I think so too. I thought Rich Gravy was terrific tonight. What'd you think, Kev?
Yeah, no, I thought all of our guests were terrific tonight. I'm always happy when people call in. Always call in. Don't be afraid to call in. We'll talk to everyone and anyone.
But I really enjoyed Rich Gravy, and I'd like to stream with him. All right, that's going to do it for us. We got a busy day tomorrow. Let me just give you the rundown on tomorrow. So tomorrow, I will be on at 8:15 with Murph and Marcus on KMBR. So check me out tomorrow morning on the radio at 8:15. And then I will be doing the KMBR pregame with John Lund and Adam Copeland for a segment. I believe I'll be on at 3. I'll do a post-game segment with them after the Niners and Seahawks, and then we will do our post-game live stream tomorrow with Kev and Danny and Rye and JD and Damon and everybody else. So watch for that. Friday, wake up at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. with Damon. Chase Sr. will be in the house Friday at 10:45. Also, Niners Nightly, we'll have our recap of Thursday night's game, take your phone calls. And then Paulie Mack, by the way, is going to join us on Wake Up on Friday morning. And then Saturday morning, the coach will be in the house on 49er Forecast from 10 to 11 a.m. And I'm trying to get Cam Inman to join me and talk more about his book. So I'm looking forward to that. Kev, final word. I'll give it to you.
As I said earlier in the show, we have new merch. There's new shirts, cool designs. You'll be seeing more of them. Go to thekruegshow.com. That also has all of our new podcasts and videos on there. So thekruegshow.com. And Better. Sign up with Better. Use promo code Niners and you're automatically entered to win a jersey. We're giving away jerseys.
Wow. And when are we going to be giving the jersey away? Do we know?
I think in a month or two.
Gotcha.
We gave out a jersey last year. I think it was a Dre Greenlaw jersey. We sent it to someone in Australia. Someone from Australia won last year.
J49 says 49er receivers stay married. No separation. You're making me laugh. Monty says I need a Krug Show black pullover XL. Kev, can you help him out?
I can add that to the list and I'll let you know.
Okay. And then we got this one, Brandon Simmons, awesome show. Kevin and Larry, amazing stream. As always, Kevin, keep up the great work making your dad look good. Thank you. Seriously, it takes a lot of work. 49er Red Zone says Krueger beanie, please. Do you want me to? You don't want to see my head?
No. He's saying they want a beanie for the merch, like a merch beanie.
Oh,
I can do that.
Yeah, we can do beanie. We can go beanie. I like that. Dusty Gold says I wear my
put a beanie on now.
Yeah, put a beanie on your ugly head. Dusty Gold says I wear my Krueger shirt proudly. Very
awesome.
Cool. Very cool. We are getting close to 50,000 subs. So if you're one of the 1,500 people checking this stream out, hit like and subscribe. If you hit like, more people find the stream in the algorithm. If you hit subscribe every time we go live, you'll get a little note, and you click that notification bell. It's free, of course, but every time we go live, you'll get a little notification that we're going live, and you don't have to miss a minute of it. I love doing the channel, but I got to be honest, and I'm always honest in this. I love the call-in shows the most. I really do. There's something. I've always loved taking calls when I was doing the radio, and I still love it on YouTube. In fact, I love it more because you get to see everybody. And so I felt like we met people tonight. You know what I mean? And that was kind of cool. And then some we know, and then they're, recurring friends. And it's just really cool. It's really cool. I love video calls. I think video calls are so cool. I'll get this one. Larry, I'm going to call and collect, accept the charges. Sentinel, the Sentinel Football Channel. You're a man with the people, Larry. I do. I really do. We got this one from Monty. He says, me too, Larry. Call-in shows are the best for the interactions. I just think they're interesting. I think they're really interesting. And you get interesting people, and they're Niner. The beautiful thing about the Niners and the call-in thing is that the Niners are such an iconic brand, and they're such a global brand that people call from all over the country. People are Niner fans in DC. I'm a Niner fan in Virginia. I'm a Niner fan here. Dusty Gold says, the cold weather is coming. I need earmuffs for the new Krueger merchandise, Kev. Can you go earmuffs?
Yeah, I cannot help you with earmuffs. I don't think I can make that.
Ricardo Regoza says, Larry, who you betting on tomorrow? Well, what is it again, Kev?
3.5. I'm taking Niners. I'm going to jump soon.
I'm going to probably tease it. I'll probably go Niners on the tease, or probably go Niners to the tease, and then I just got to decide, do I want to go over or under? Anthony Catania. Hey, Anthony. He says, sharp corners. He goes, I have Sharp Corners gear ready for you. Anthony was at the Cardinal game. He is the owner of Sharp Corner Sports Cards and Collectibles, which is one of our sponsors. They're at 205 Cypress Avenue in Pacific Grove, California. Give Anthony a call. He's at 831-521-5264. He had a Sharp Corner Sports Cards and Collectibles hat for me, and we didn't make connection on Sunday. So, Anthony, I really look forward to getting that hat, and I appreciate it. And thank you for sponsoring the show as well. And GSU for Life says, I love watching Larry, but the comments in the chat are
straight entertainment.
Straight entertainment. All right, that's going to do it for us. Thanks to Kev. Thanks to all of you guys. Have a great night. Peace.
Yeah, never met a man I've been scared of. Careful.